Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to Macroeconomics subject. And for that we will be welcome to course orientation for your basic macroeconomics subject. Customer and your instructor in this subject. I am from the Economics Department of the College of Architecture. Today, we are going to discuss about expectations, your expectation from the subject, and your expectation from me, and my expectation from you, of course. And we're going to discuss about a university vision and mission, and the recalibrated syllabus of basic macroeconomics. This will include the course outcome and the specific learning outcome of the subject. We will discuss also the required or the course requirements for you to be able to pass the subject. What are you going to do and what are you going to submit? And of course, the course policies, the classroom policies, the class policies, and the rubrics to be used and the grading system. And of course, there are other matters to be discussed later on. Before we are going to discuss about the vision and mission statement of the Bukidnon State University, may I just start with the expectation. Some of you have submitted already your activity one, that is the self-introduction, and I already read it. And I noticed that some of you are quite afraid or quietly thinking of what would be the style of teaching, what would be uh, the subject, what might be the style of the instructor, and is the instructor is considerate. So let me just clarify you. In this new normal, we are going to be considerate to the situation of the students, so there is nothing to be afraid of. Just tell me your situation. Just be honest. Just be honest. Don't lie. Don't make any excuses. Just tell me the real scenario, the real situation you are in. I can assure you that I will consider every situation because I know we are facing this new normal. Therefore, well, let me know. Then I will consider all your situations. How can I be considerate if I don't know what what's going on? So keep in touch. Keep posted. If there is if there are problems, if there are difficulties you encountered in your locality, for example, as to meeting deadlines because you cannot submit due to problems of internet connection signals, then just say so, let me know, then we will talk about it. Okay, so the Bukidnon State University aims to be a premier institution of ethical leaders, innovative and ethical leaders for sustainable development. Innovative in a sense that Bukidnon State University is continuing its practice of discovering techniques and strategies how to deliver good instructions, how to develop students, how to help students learn what you need to learn. And of course, we at Boxo is going to develop leaders, students that will be be a community leader Susan with full of etiquettes. Of course, because ethics is very important for sustainable development. And to make this vision happen, Bukidnon State University aims to develop competitive professionals who are committed to build a sustainable life for all through quality instruction, of course, and as well as research, extension, and production. I would like to highlight these words competitive professionals. Competitive in a sense that we can compete with other people in our field and other products of other higher educational institution. After you graduate your course, you are going to apply for work or venture into business. Then we must learn or we must train you at box so how to be competitive. For example, you are going to build your own business. Then while you are in school, while you are in Bokso, Bukidnon State University will teach you how to be a good businessman so you can be competitive enough when you are into the real field in business. And of course, we can do it through quality instructions in the classroom and aside from quality instruction in the classroom, of course, to research, extension programs, and academic related activities. At the end of this program, at the end of this course, we are expected to deliver something. And of course, first is we are expected to be able to demonstrate and demonstrate understanding of economic conditions on aggregate market equilibrium. We will be talking the aggregate market equilibrium, meaning the interaction between the aggregate demand and supply. Then second one is we are expected to be able to analyze the causes and effects of inflation and unemployment and the economy. That's for midterm. And for the second, for the final term, final coverage, we are expected to be able to evaluate case studies about the national income accounting, fiscal and monetary policy, international trade, exchange rates, and economic growth and development. And the last is we are expected to assign a portfolio on Filipinos' response to the cost and savings investments and mode of taxation, international trade, cross national policy, cross domestic policy to the economy. So this is based on the above recalibrated syllables for this COVID-19 pandemic. In this course, you will be required to submit minor and major activities. Under minor activities, these are the class activities, the activities per lesson. And second one is if if you already downloaded the template of the summary of learning, ito na yon. So per lesson, you are going to submit a what we call this your learnings, reflection, realization, and how can you relate to it as well as your plans or action plans and recommendations in relation to the topic. And under major activity, first is of course The summary of learning, as I said, once we finish the lesson, we are going to fill up or answer the required items in the template of the learning. And after we finish the entire course, then you are already done with your first or with your one of the two major output, that is the summary of learning, and the other one is the macroeconomic case analysis and intensive study. This is to be done by group. I will assign you, or I will announce the grouping later on. So that's the course requirements. Please take note. This is the summary of learning for those who don't uh, download it yet. The summary of learning. So this is how it look like. Just make sure to write your name. By the way, this is in Word, Microsoft Word file, so you can just encode and make use of the template. By the way, I will not be accepting output not using this template. So write your name, then class code. Make sure to write your class code because I am handling 5 macroeconomic section. Then here, this is how you are going to use the template. Lesson 1, of course, aggregate demand. So in this column, you are going to write down what you have learned in this topic. Then the fourth column, what are your realization, or you have to make reflection from your learning, so it is connected with the third column. So next is you are going to write your personal experiences related to your learning or realization. For example, in the aggregate demand, I'm sure you will discover something which you just learned now in this subject. Then you have to write it here. Then the last column would be for your personal plans or action plans or recommendation in relation to your realization and learnings. So every end of lesson, so you have to submit this so that I can check it out. Then at the end of the course, we can fill up uh, all the all the topics. Then you finish now you're one of the two major output required by the course. So as you see, macroeconomics will tackle 12 lessons from aggregate demand up to the economic growth and development. Class policies, deadlines. First is deadlines. It has been a practice of Bukidnon State University not to impose deadlines considering of the new normal. However, I found something not so good by not imposing deadlines because um, with exemption to other students, some students sometimes very abusive, mahilig saka na, bukas na, bukas na. So nagkakaroon ngayon ng problema as to complying the requirements, as to complying the subject, the outputs. So I would like to suggest we must observe deadlines, but I will not deduct scores. I will not deduct grades for those who fail to submit their output within the deadline. But I will just give extra points to those who will be able to submit their output on or before deadline as a compensation for your effort, for your labor by submitting your output on time. Again, there will be no grade or score deduction if you cannot beat the deadline, but you will earn additional points if you can submit your output on time. Next, there has been a memorandum circular issued by CHED, this allowing us to give you INC or failing grade. And Boxo is very obedient to that. However, I want to remind all of you that there is still a standby policy of all higher education institution that once you get an INC or once you get a blank grade, when we submit your name, if you by the way, if you cannot submit your output after the semester, so we are required to submit the grades at the registrar. Then if you fail to comply all the requirements, then we will just submit your name with blank grade and you will be given 1 year to comply all the requirements for you to get your final grade. Then failure to comply all requirements of this subject or any other subject after 1 year, then that's the time the standby policy will take effect. Therefore, you will be retaking the subject. Then, by the time, it is not us, the faculty, who is responsible for you retaking the subject, but you yourself is responsible for doing it because you are not that conscious of your requirements. So I suggest for you to make your life easy, just comply the requirements on time, try to beat deadlines para hindi magkabuo-buo yung mga output ninyo para di magkasabay-sabay rather. So again, we will not give you INC nor failing grade, but if you fail to comply your requirements 1 year, you will be retaking the subject, and it is you who is responsible of of making yourself retake the subject. Next is part-time instructor or guest lecturer. I want you to be mindful of part-time instructors or guest lecturer, and I am one of them. I am a guest lecturer of Boxo. Why we need to talk about this? Because I want you to know that part-time instructor or guest lecturer is contract-based. After the semester, our contract of service with Bukidnon State University will end also. And if you will not beat the deadline, if you will not submit your requirements of the subject, who will take good care of your grade if your instructor is no longer in contract of service with Bukso? Who will take good care of your grade? Not unless we guest lecturer will renew our contract of service with Bokso. How about we if we will not? Or shall we say, how about if a guest lecturer, an, an instructor of yours, will not be rehired by Bokso by next sem? Who will take care of your grade? So I suggest be mindful of your output, especially if you are under a part-timer or or a guest lecturer like me, para di mo magka-problema. I am not from Bukidnon, I am from Davao. So if ever I will no longer renew my contract of service with Bukidnon next semester, then you will be in trouble. You will come to me in Davao just to get your final grade. So just kidding. But it's a bit serious. So again, for you to be able to receive your grade as soon as the semesters end, then try to beat deadlines. Huwag yung pa bukas-bukas na. Then cheating. Um, as per experience, it's so obvious. Cheating was very obvious in my uh, last sem. There were students who cheat. I suggest please Do away cheating because as per policy, if you cheat on a minor subject, you will automatically receive failing grade or failing score for that particular minor subject. And for major subject, if you quote, especially if you quote cheating on a major subject twice, you will be automatically be given a failing final grade. That's the policy. So I suggest do not cheat. Keep away cheating. If you face difficulty in understanding the subject, then just come and approach your instructor. Do not cheat. If you really don't know, if you find difficulty, if your situation is very bad, then let us know. We will consider your situation. And again, how can we consider you if we don't know your situation? So I suggest contact your instructor from time to time and don't cheat. Just be honest. Do your best. Give your best. If yun lang talagang makuha mo, if hindi mo alam yung gawin mo, if hanggang dyan lang ang kaya mo, then be it. Just be honest, sir. Yun, ito lang talaga makaya ko. Hindi ako marunong, hindi ko magawa yung anong ipagawa mo or magtanong ka, sir, paano ba ito gawin? Just come and approach me. I will teach you, I will assist you, I will coach you. Okay? Just be honest. Don't cheat. Ayoko talaga ng cheater. In our Google Classroom, I uploaded already materials there. These are video tutorial. This will help you how to draw graph, how to write analytical essay, informative essay, reflection, and of course, how to write a good paragraph. Macroeconomics per se is a very analytical, graphical, and more on writing, considering we are on an online class discussion, unlike in the classroom discussion that there are many instances we are into oral recitation. Here in online class discussion, we will be more on writing. Therefore, I suggest if you have difficulty in writing a good paragraph, then find time to help yourselves to improve your uh, ability in writing. Magamit itong mga video na ito. Because we are using these rubrics. Speaking of rubrics, look at this. Rubric for critical analysis essay. There is portion here about writing paragraphs. So if you find difficulty or if you cannot write a good paragraph, then if you cannot expect to give a high score. So I suggest again, do something to improve your writing skills. Anyway, so far, for those who have submitted their first activity, I am quite amazed because all of output I've read, maganda yung pagkagawa. So, congrats and just improve. And for those who haven't submitted yet, then we'll see. And for those who find difficulties in writing, then try to develop your writing skills. Uh, Informal essay, kung inyong tingnan, may organization dito. So again, it's writing. How can you how can you express your thought? How can you express your idea if you If you cannot write a good paragraph, so again, I suggest make use of the material I uploaded in the Google Classroom, how to write a good paragraph where you'll be able to write to express your ideas. Same thing with reflection. How can you write a good reflection if you find difficulty in writing a good paragraph? So make use of the material. Grading system, this is a university-wide grading system. Major exam is equivalent to 40%. This is your major output. And for minor output, the class standing is your minor output. This is equivalent to 60%. Um, Next is, I want you to be mindful in our course timeline. If you notice, we started today, February 8th, and we are expecting to finish the course on May 28th at our final exam. So every week we assign topics to be tackled every week. For Monday and Tuesday classes, we are going to hold online classes. For those who opted for online classes, it is either group chat or Google Classroom or Google Meet or Zoom. And on Thursday and Friday, we are going to check your activities and inform you, advise you for output which need to be improved. And during Wednesday, I allocated 2 hours for class consultation. And if you notice here, May 8 to 27, since we finished on May 8th, our last lesson, you are given enough time for preparation for all your subject requirement. Therefore, there is no reason to go beyond the semester if you just be mindful on the deadlines. So again, please be mindful on the deadlines considering that uh, our contract of service with Bukidnon State University will end right after the final exam. So I am expecting you to submit all your output one day after the final exam, that because final exam will I don't know what will be the plan of the university, but as per experience last semester, we were not giving written exam. Instead, we are requiring the major output to be submitted. Then after that, a day after, the final grade were computed. So I am expecting my students this semester to do the same thing. Other matters, modalities. Some of you opted for, I'm sorry, some of you opted for printed module, so it is okay. Just if you find difficulty in your self-study, kasi pag naka-printed module, self-study talaga yan. So, if you find difficulty in understanding the subject or the topic, just PM me, send me a private message in Messenger so that I can help you. And for those who can join online classes, there are some of you who cannot join me in Zoom. So I will just make a group for Messenger group chat discussion and another for Zoom. For those who opted for Zoom, so sa Zoom ko kayo ilagay. And for those who cannot use Zoom, so sa group Messenger tayo magklase. If you have questions, just send me message or just post your questions in the comment box. I will be uploading this video for you to watch. And again, for any clarification or questions, just send me a message so that we can clarify things. That's all for today. And once again, congratulations for having been through the first semester, the very first semester under the new normal, and welcome to the second semester of your welcome to the second semester and welcome to macroeconomics subject. That's all for today. Good day and good afternoon. God bless.